It's Zyloc with Media Hindsight. It is October 10th, just 8 more days until the Portland Retro Gaming Expo kicks off. And as you can see, my bookshelf back here is pretty barren. It's getting really close to move-in time, so I had to start packing up the games, which sucks, but the reviews will continue, I promise. So today we are going to look at one of the later games that was released for the Atari 2600 and actually released in 1990. It's actually based off of an arcade game, and that is Xenophobe for the Atari 2600. And I'm really excited to bring this to you guys because yesterday I looked at Alien for the Atari, and that game was really bad. Not only that, it was just unoriginal and it had barely any good ideas. But I'm here to bring you Xenophobe, and it is the game that Alien should have been. Let's take a look. Xenophobe allows for two-player alternating alien blasting action. Each level has you sent to a new space station to collect parts, supplies, and new armaments. You only have a set amount of time to explore each room and collect what you can before the station is overrun by Xenos. These are the aliens of the game. Every item scavenged is worth points that will add to your total score. Navigation is performed by moving left and right, and each station is split into 10 to 15 or so rooms. While navigating, the player can jump by moving the joystick up and duck and crawl while holding it down. These maneuvers are important for both navigation and evading enemies and their attacks. You can explore space stations until your health bar depletes, and once this happens, it's game over. Two very notable features exist in this game that you don't often see in an Atari 2600 game. One is how the Xenos have the ability to evolve over time into more powerful forms. This is an excellent feature and adds a sense of urgency and consequence to simply evading smaller Xenos instead of killing them. If you return to the same room later on, they may be too powerful for your current firepower, and evasion may be your only option. The other cool feature is the addition of multiple firearms. Each have various range, fire rate, and power. Your goal should always be to acquire the most powerful weapon available, as they make the game considerably easier. This is a great touch that adds variety to the gameplay while also adding a sense of character progression. Xenophobe looks amazing for being on the Atari 2600. Each space station and room is unique and equipped with unique enemy placement and items. Each Xenos has its own set of animation as it moves across the floor or flings projectiles at you, and the sound effects for these creatures is superb and totally fitting. Your character is also very well animated, but I couldn't get over the fact that you move so much faster when jumping as opposed to walking. It was a nice touch, though, that the jumps feel like they are floaty, as if to sell the fact that there is a little gravity on each station. There are almost always shortcomings to porting a game that was originally in the arcade, and Xenophobe is no exception. The arcade machine allows 3-player simultaneous, independent exploration. This sounds like a blast and would certainly add to the experience. Unfortunately, but understandably, the Atari 2600 version only supports 2-player alternating gameplay. It's a shame. It makes me wonder why they wasted the screen real estate on having both players' screens showing at all times. Even with these limitations, Xenophobe is an ambitious title for the system, and it's obvious that the developers understood what the Atari 2600 was capable of and wanted to push it to its limits. It's a great adventure, and I can imagine that playing this title in 1990 would have been an experience. But with the NES being released a few years before this, Xenophobe was unfortunately overlooked by many. This is the game that Alien should have been, but I'm glad Xenophobe exists as well to get the bad taste out of my mouth. And there you guys have it. That's Xenophobe for the Atari 2600. A great title to add to your collection if you can find it. It's really not that common because it came out towards the end of the Atari's lifespan, but definitely try to find it. The game, not as good as the arcade game. It had to have limitations thrown on it because of the hardware itself, but it's still a very high quality game to play by yourself or with a friend alternating. You can go for high scores, and the game has a lot of fun ideas that a lot of other Atari games just don't have, and it's one that I think everybody should play, and I'm going to give it an 80 out of 100. I like it that much, and it definitely surprised me a lot, even though I heard really good things about it. And as always, I'm Zyloc with Media Hindsight, signing out.